For 3 years, she sat by the window, silent, forgotten. The 78-year-old nursing home resident with dementia. They thought she'd lost everything, her memory, her strength, her identity. But when she picked up a basketball, 10 shots, 10 baskets, perfect, not a single miss. Because Dorothy Hamilton wasn't just an old lady, she was Olympic gold. 1964, Tokyo, USA women's basketball. The first, the best, 92% free throw accuracy, 2,000 career games. The woman they forgot? She'd represented a nation. This is her story. Part 1. The Window. April 2024, Sunrise Nursing Home, Connecticut. Every morning at 7 a.m., Dorothy Hamilton was wheeled to her spot by the window. 3rd floor, room 312. She'd sit in her wheelchair, hands folded in her lap, eyes staring out at nothing. The nurses knew her routine. "Good morning, Mrs. Hamilton." Dorothy would smile faintly. "Good morning, dear." And that was all. No family visits, no phone calls, no life. She'd been there 3 years, since 2021. After her husband, Jack, passed away, the dementia had started slow, forgetting names, losing keys. Then it got worse, forgetting herself. Her daughter, Rebecca, had tried for a while, but the dementia made Dorothy different. Angry sometimes, confused. "You're not my daughter," Dorothy would say. "My daughter is 10 years old." Rebecca couldn't handle it, the guilt, the pain, so she stopped visiting, and Dorothy became invisible. But Maria Lopez, a 24-year-old nurse, noticed something. Dorothy wasn't just sitting, she was watching. Every afternoon at 3 p.m., Maria would wheel Dorothy to the common room for TV time. Most residents watch soap operas or game shows, but Dorothy, she only came alive for one thing: basketball. When a game came on, Dorothy's eyes changed, sharp, focused. Her lips would move silently, counting 1, 2, 3, shoot. Her hands would twitch, making shooting motions. Maria watched this for weeks and wondered, "Mrs. Hamilton, do you like basketball?" Dorothy turned, smiled. I used to play, I think, a long time ago." "Were you good?" Dorothy's smile faded. I don't remember." But Maria saw something else. Dorothy's hands, when she gripped the wheelchair armrests, her fingers positioned perfectly, like holding a basketball. Part 2. Sports Day. April 20, 2024. Sports Day event. Once a year, Sunrise Nursing Home held Sports Day, a fundraiser. Families would visit. Residents would participate in gentle activities, beanbag toss, wheelchair races, nothing too strenuous. This year, the activities director, Sandra, had a new idea. "Let's do a basketball shoot, a small hoop, 5 feet away, on the ground, easy, fun, for the residents who could stand." Maria saw the basketball hoop being set up and thought of Dorothy. She walked to room 312. Dorothy was at the window. "As always, Mrs. Hamilton." "Yes, dear, there's an event today. Sports Day. Would you like to come?" Dorothy shook her head. "I'm tired. Please, just 10 minutes. There's basketball." Something flickered in Dorothy's eyes. "Basketball? Yes, just a little game, shooting baskets." Dorothy hesitated, then nodded. "Okay, 10 minutes. 2:30 p.m. The common room. 20 residents gathered. Families taking photos. Children laughing. Sandra stood by the basketball hoop. "All right, everyone. Who wants to try first?" A few residents tried, throwing underhand, the ball bouncing off the rim or missing completely. Everyone clapped anyway. It was just for fun. Maria wheeled Dorothy closer. "Mrs. Hamilton, would you like to try?" Dorothy stared at the basketball, a worn orange ball, and something happened. Her breathing changed, deeper. Her posture straightened, her eyes locked. "I'd like to stand," Dorothy whispered. Maria blinked. "Mrs. Hamilton, you haven't stood in 6 months. I know, but I need to. For this." Maria looked at Sandra, who nodded slowly. "Okay, let's try." 2 nurses helped Dorothy stand, her legs shaking, weak, but holding Dorothy slowly toward the basketball. She reached down, picked it up, and the moment her fingers touched the leather, everything changed. Her grip was perfect, fingers spread evenly, wrist cocked, elbow aligned, textbook. The nurses stared. "Mrs. Hamilton, how do you know how to?" Dorothy didn't answer. She raised the ball, her eyes on the hoop, 5 feet away, and she shot. Swish. Nothing but net. The ball didn't touch the rim. Perfect arc. Silence. Complete silence. Then, applause. "Wow, great shot, Mrs. Hamilton." But Dorothy wasn't done. She walked slowly to the ball, picked it up, shot again. Swish. Again. Swish. Again. Swish. By the 5th shot, people stopped clapping. They just watched. Because this wasn't luck. This was mastery. 10 shots. 10. Every single one. Perfect. Not one missed. Not one touched the rim. Just swish, swish, swish. When Dorothy made the 10th shot, she lowered the ball, looked at her hands, and smiled. A real smile. For the first time in 3 years. "I remember," she whispered. Part 3. The discovery. Maria couldn't stop thinking about it. That night, after her shift, she went to Dorothy's room, knocked gently. "Mrs. Hamilton, can I come in?" Dorothy looked at her hands. "I don't know. When I held the ball, my body remembered." "Have you played before? Professionally?" I think so, but I can't remember." Maria looked around the room at the few personal items. A photo of a man, Jack, Dorothy's husband, a Bible, a music box, and then Maria saw it under the bed, partially hidden by a blanket, a music box, and then faded letters. USA 1964. Maria's heart stopped. "Mrs. Hamilton, what is this?" Dorothy stared at the ball. I don't know. Jack gave it to me, I think." Maria went to the small dresser, opened the top drawer, and found a folder, old, yellow. Inside, newspaper clippings, photos. The first photo took Maria's breath away. A young woman, maybe 22 years old, standing on a podium, wearing a USA uniform, with a gold medal around her neck. The caption read, "Dorothy Hamilton leads USA to gold in Tokyo. First women's Olympic basketball, 1964. Maria looked at Dorothy, at the old woman in the bed, and back at the photo. It was her. "Mrs. Hamilton, you were in the Olympics?" Dorothy blinked. "I was." "Yes, look." Maria showed her the photo. Dorothy stared for a long time, and then tears fell. "That's me," she whispered. I was good. You were more than good. You were gold." Part 4. The call. Maria couldn't keep this quiet. The next day, she called the local newspaper. "You need to see this." The reporter came, interviewed Dorothy, took photos of the basketball, the gold medal, which was found in a safety deposit box at a bank. Dorothy's daughter, Rebecca, was listed as the contact. The article ran 3 days later. "Forgotten gold. Olympic hero lives in nursing home, estranged from family." It went viral. 5 million shares, 10 million, 20 million. People were outraged. How could her family forget her? This woman is a hero. She deserves better. And in Boston, 400 miles away, Rebecca Hamilton Torres saw the article. She was 48 years old, a lawyer, successful, busy. She hadn't spoken to her mother in almost 10 years. The guilt had been unbearable, so she'd buried it, ignored it, pretended her mother didn't exist. But now, seeing that photo of her mother, young, triumphant, Rebecca broke. She called the nursing home. I'm Dorothy Hamilton's daughter. I'm coming today, now." Part 5. The reunion. 6:47 p.m. That same day, Rebecca burst through the doors of Sunrise Nursing Home, tears streaming down her face. "Where is she? Where's my mother?" Maria led her to room 31. Dorothy was at the window. As always, Rebecca stopped in the doorway. "Mom?" Dorothy turned, looked at the woman, and for a moment, nothing. Then, recognition, faint, but there. Rebecca ran to her, fell to her knees. Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I abandoned you. I was scared and selfish, and I forgot who you were." Dorothy touched her daughter's face. "I forgot too, sweetheart. I forgot a lot of things, but you remembered the basketball." Dorothy smiled. "My body remembered, even when my mind didn't." Rebecca stayed that night, and the next day, and the day after that. She took a leave of absence from work, moved temporarily to Connecticut to be with her mother every day. And Dorothy started remembering not everything, but pieces. The Olympics, the games, the gold. Part 6, The Legacy. 6 months later, October 2024, Dorothy's story inspired something bigger, a foundation, the Dorothy Hamilton Fund, supporting dementia recreation therapy. The idea: use your body to remember your mind. Physical activities connected to a person's past could trigger memories. A pianist with dementia plays and remembers. A dancer moves and remembers. An athlete shoots and remembers. 150 nursing homes across America adopted the program. Thousands of forgotten athletes, artists, musicians rediscovered their skills, their identities. Dorothy herself visited 12 facilities in her wheelchair with her basketball, teaching others, "You're not just your memory," she'd say. "You're what your body knows." And Rebecca, she never left. She moved permanently to Connecticut, closer to her mother, visited every single day. "I wasted 10 years, she told Maria one afternoon. "I won't waste another minute." Epilogue, February 2026. Dorothy Hamilton passed away peacefully at age 80 in her sleep, with Rebecca holding her hand. But before she died, she had 2 good years. 2 years of remembering, 2 years of family, 2 years of knowing she was loved. At her funeral, 500 people attended. Her old teammates from 1964, now in their 80s. They wore their USA jackets, and they carried her casket. The eulogy was given by Maria, the young nurse who'd noticed the calluses. "Dorothy taught me that people are never just what they seem. The quiet woman by the window, she was a champion. The forgotten resident, she was gold. And when we took the time to see her, she reminded us that our bodies remember what our minds forget." Dorothy didn't just play basketball. She played for all of us, for every forgotten elder, every dismissed patient, every person society stopped seeing. And when she made those 10 perfect shots, she was telling us, "I'm still here, I still matter, and so do you." After the funeral, Rebecca donated her mother's gold medal to the Basketball Hall of Fame with one condition: it had to be displayed next to a photo of Dorothy at Sunrise Nursing Home at age 78, holding a basketball, smiling. Reads, Dorothy Hamilton, 1946, Olympic gold medalist, first women's basketball team, 92.3% free throw accuracy. She taught us, the body remembers what the heart never forgets. And every year, on Sports Day, at Sunrise Nursing Home, they hold the Dorothy Hamilton Memorial Shoot. Residents of all abilities take 10 shots, and for those 10 shots, they're not residents, they're champions, just like Dot. Because Dorothy Hamilton taught the world a lesson. Don't judge the elderly woman in the wheelchair. Don't dismiss the dementia patient by the window, because inside that fragile body might be an Olympian, a hero, a legend, just waiting for someone to hand them a ball.